Setiap generasi punya cara berbeda untuk mengisi kemerdekaan. Sebagai pengisi kemerdekaan, kita adalah pahlawan perubahan yang bergerak taklukkan perubahan.
Bergerak terus bergerak, nyalakan api semangat, kita buat semesta dan bumi pertiwi senang. Kita berubah, serentak kita melangkah demi masa depan yang cerah, taklukkan perubahan, berubah untuk maju bersama, jalin semangat bersama, kita pantang menyerah, mewujudkan harapan yang baru demi Indonesiaku, semua bisa berubah maju.
Radio Telekomunikasi Cipta Universitas Indonesia
107.9 FM.
Your favorite student radio in town.
The best source of music, fun, and day-to-day info.
Here to communicate, educate, and entertain.
Find us at the 7th floor of
Pusat Kegiatan Mahasiswa Building B, only in
Universitas Indonesia.
Depok 16425.
Follow us at RTC UI FM
And visit our website
at rtc.ui.ac.id.
See you soon. Love you all. Take care and bye-bye.
Kamu bisa nikmatin berbagai informasi dari Liputan 6, liputan6.com, dan aplikasi Liputan 6 secara bersamaan. Semuanya ada di wajah baru aplikasi Liputan 6. Kamu bisa jadi orang yang paling cepat dapat informasi terbaru karena ada fitur latest. Nikmati cara baru baca berita di fitur Visual Stories. Bukan cuma tulisannya yang menarik, tapi banyak gambar kece yang bisa kamu lihat. Tampilan kece, update berita cepat. Download sekarang ya.
I love the Hult Prize. You, in so many ways, represent the future with the idea of creative cooperation. So I want to thank the Hult executives for offering this prize every year and for giving all these incredibly gifted young people the chance to bring their ideas to bear on major challenges.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. My name is Hananinta, and I will be your guide throughout this fantastic event. First of all, let me remind you about the global movement that we are a part of. The Hult Prize Foundation transforms how young people envision their own possibilities as leaders of change in the world around them. With the $1 million Global Startup Prize as its anchor activity, the Hult Prize has brought impact-focused programs, events, and training to over 1 million students globally, creating a pathway for youth to take action to build a better world. This year, its on-campus program has finally come to Universitas Indonesia among 3,000 other universities across the world that are also holding the program. This allows the students of our university to challenge themselves and develop the best idea they could to change the world. This makes us a part of a huge community of change makers, as we have joined a group of more than 30,000 volunteers that make the Hult Prize possible, where hundreds of thousands of students compete in more than 120 countries. We are also in a partnership with the United Nations to activate youth and find solutions to today's boldest challenges, For this reason, the Hult Prize will host the award ceremony and gala in the UN headquarters in New York City. The best teams of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia are here today to compete for the chance to represent both of Indonesia and our university at the regional summit, and hopefully at the global finals round. The selected team will be one step closer to the world's largest impact accelerator, the Hult Prize Global Accelerator that takes place in Ashridge Castle, London. And of course, also a step closer to receiving 1 million US dollar. Surely, every one of the team members are both excited and nervous about this. Whoever the winner may be, we would like to congratulate all 6 teams for all their hard work up until this moment. It is amazing to see how much you have progressed, especially considering most of these ideas do not exist until just months ago. We truly appreciate all the efforts you have put into this throughout the journey of the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. Before we continue, we would like to express our gratitude to those who have supported us. Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia wouldn't be possible without the help of our sponsors in the home and our media partners, which are Liputan 6, Merdeka.com, Media Indonesia. We will now be Asia. Fedi Regai to officially kick off the event. To Fedi, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. This is Fedi from Hult Prize. I am happy to be with you tonight. It's really great to be with you on this session and the finals and the ceremony to accommodate the winner team and all the other teams to get one stage closer to the $1 million in seed funding and to the regionals, and why not to the accelerator and the finals at the United Nations. So thank you so much for the amazing job you are deploying as a team together. So I would like to express my gratitude and my thankful word to both the organizers, the teams, and also the judges, and the amazing staff and the supporters and the sponsors that supported those teams to get the chance and to get further conditions, better conditions to express their leadership and to make impact to change the world. So I'm really happy today to be with you in this meeting. And I know some of you, it's the first time ever to pitch maybe in front of the judges, and some of you might be nervous, but believe me, this will be and remain a big memory for all of you, and it will keep. I'm personally proud of you all here, because this is such a bold movement you are doing in Indonesia as in the country, and also in the region, because I mean, I'm proud of the contribution you are doing, and actually it's one of my favorite on-campus programs here. So thank you so much for the amazing efforts, for the great job. I know it wasn't easy, but you are doing already amazing. I love the branding. I love how you are organized and the opening words of our MC here. So good luck for all the teams, and I'm looking forward to see the pitches and to see the announcement at the end. But one message before you, as you are now about to pitch, one message is for all the teams specifically. So Hult Prize always give a second chance, right? So in case you don't win the spot for the on-campus program, remember that the judges will give you some questions, some feedback, some insights. Take them into consideration and apply again with Hult Prize. We open for you the online application and also afterward the wildcard to get one step closer to our regionals, accelerator, and so on. So actually, one of the teams who won the $1 million, the last team, Ritopia from Mexico, actually they didn't win neither the on-campus program, neither the regionals. They didn't get the first spot, but they took the feedback into consideration, and then they made they made the pitch better, they made the business model better, and then they applied again through our wildcard, and they made it to the accelerator, but then they made it even to the finals, and they won the $1 million. So never give up. With Hope Prize or even beyond, the judges here might give you the check of investment. They might invest on you as a team. They know that idea might change. So do your best. Give a good impression, and we will be happy to see you all moving to the next rounds. And congratulations everyone for the amazing job.
Thank you, Fedi, for encouraging speech and for officially kicking off the final round of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. We are honored to have you here today. In just a moment, we will enter the pitching session. The 6 teams that will be presenting today have been selected among more than 130 business ideas that were submitted to answer the challenge of food for good, creating a startup that could create jobs, stimulate economies, reimagine supply chains, and improve outcomes for 10 million people by 2030. The teams have been provided with a series of workshops, training, and mentoring sessions to help them deliver the best pitches today. Now, before we continue, we would like to remind our finalists and audience just how big what we are being a part of, as well as to introduce the Hult Prize to those of you who are still new to it. Please enjoy the Hult Prize introduction video.
The winning team is Rutopia from Take Them Opera.
Who's gonna bring you back to life? We're gonna make you and I. We're gonna save the world
Your team's going to the accelerator. I love your idea. How about that?
Wow, that video made me so excited and an exciting video. That video made me so excited and eager, although I believe not as much as the finalists are feeling right now, as it's almost time to hear the final pitch of our top 6 teams. Each team will be given 6 minutes to pitch their business, followed by 4 minutes of Q&A with the judges. The best team will be selected based on their idea, impact, traction, members, and wow factor. To judge and score the teams today, we have 6 phenomenal judges who are experts of their respective fields. Please let us introduce our judges in this video. Enjoy. Wow, truly an impressive panel of judges we have with us today. Now, I would like to greet the judges first. Good evening, judges. How are you today?
Good evening.
Are you ready to select the best team today, dear judges?
Hi, thanks for having us. Hey. Happy to be here.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Okay, now, so...
I can still...
Yes?
I cannot see anything.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay, judges.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thank you, judges. So now we would like to remind the audience that aside from the judges' selection, we have a favorite team category. The favorite team is chosen based on the most comment with their hashtag posted on our live streaming YouTube chat. So audience, do not forget to vote for your favorite team. And now, seeing that the judges are as excited as us to select the best team, let us now enter the final pitching session. The order of the teams today have been selected with the raffle machine. And now, the first team to pitch is Team Bill. So, Team Bill, you have 6 minutes to present your business deck.
So can I share my screen
Yeah.
right now? Okay.
Good luck.
Okay. So may I begin? Okay. This is what our typical plate looks like. It is dominated by carbs and fats. The average Indonesian eats less than half the daily recommended intake of vegetables and fruits. And so our intake for our essential nutrients are less than the global average. And the implications are bad. Heart disease is the second leading cause of death in Indonesia. And we are in the top 10 globally of our number of diabetic and obese people. One of the reasons why people are not eating healthy is because they don't like how it tastes. But most importantly, what bothers them the most is how troublesome it is to do so. So what's the most practical, all-encompassing solution to fill in this nutrition gap? The answer is seaweed. Now, this should have been an obvious answer from the start, considering that we are the largest seaweed producer in the world. But more ironically, the same people that are making this happen are the ones who are struggling the most. At least 20% of Indonesian family farms are poor, caused by a dependence to the middlemen in the supply chain, subpar farming methods, and a low market value for their produce. So to tackle poverty among farmers and a picky eating habit that is leading to poor nutritional content, we are introducing Rutina. We are here to champion a healthier diet by empowering the ones who produce them. Our seaweed powder is produced ethically using our farm-to-fork business model. Its versatility makes it super easy for anyone to consume, and it is healthier than your average vegetable.
To solve farmers' poverty, Rutina will ensure its ethical business. Up until now, our seaweed is largely sold as raw materials. The Rutina way includes a high value-adding process by turning those raw seaweed into Rutina powder. It is ready to be purchased by direct customers or businesses like restaurants and catering. This will benefit not only the consumers but also the seaweed farmers through the provision of education, networking, and technology. Currently, our farmers' access to related knowledge is limited. Rutina will equip the farmers with a curriculum comprised of aquaculture, finance, and managerial skills that will help them produce higher quantity and quality of seaweed. At the same time, it will also increase their financial and technological literacy to further sustain the business. And we won't be alone in this matter. To enrich our curriculum, we are partnering with important stakeholders like aquaculture and business experts that will educate, engage, and facilitate them. We believe that knowledge without the means is powerless. Hence, we will also provide them with two technologies. Before, production is unable to reach its maximum capacity. This will help the farmers to increase production rate and prevent loss during rainy season, so that they can produce all year long, fulfilling the before unmet market demand. With all those things, what are we producing? The answer is a powerful and versatile food that is easy to consume to solve problem number 2. From the 1 tin of highly nutritious green seaweed powder, 1 spoon of Rutina can improve our nutrition without having to change our dietary habits. Last, Rutina will also provide us with high-impact nutrients that many of us lack. It is proven to be way higher than our average vegetable. With that, it will improve our nutritional intake and overall health, such as repairing our immune system to further reduce the risk of cholesterol, obesity, and diabetes. However, a big idea is nothing without execution. So, where do we start?
We start from home. Close to us, most of where our initial target consumers are, we have Banten, the source of seaweed production. Banten will be our implementation pilot site where we aim to work with 15 farmers, which will be first approached through local community leaders. For the production site, farmers and locals will be trained to produce Rutina locally in their village, which will be supported by Rutina's investment in equipment and capital. Later on, we will launch our product by firstly targeting caterings and restaurants to serve as their cuisine ingredients. Then we will move on to reach with customers. Other than that, thanks to Grab and Gojek for bringing the advancement of courier services, we can distribute our product straight to consumers' homes. All in all, our business model will be able to improve seaweed value by up to 17 times. This increase in value will in turn increase farmers' income by 250% in the first year and will continue to increase as our business expands. In the next few years, we will continue to improve our seaweed farmers' socio-economic well-being by working with several partners from tech and edu institutions, government agencies, and NGOs who have high interest in helping our farmers, yet do not have the medium to do so. And this is just the beginning. In the future, the limitless opportunities of seaweed that can be produced into all types of products are also promising, and we will be there to grab it. With a market size of 63 million people, we will start by reaching 30,000 consumers in the first year during the pilot project. And during this pilot project also, we will reach payback period by the 11th month with positive net present value in the same year and the next 10 years. And finally, with Rutina, we can improve the welfare of farmers, 2.7 million of them, by giving them secure jobs, which job is to produce healthy food that will provide the health of 63 million consumers, whose consumptions in turn will help to further improve the life of farmers who produced it. we believe in making the world a wealthier and healthier place, it is the time to change how we eat. And we need to change how we eat by choosing the food that comes in full circle, yet still tastes good on the table. Thank you, and this is Rutina's commitment to Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Team Bill. Your time is up. Now the judges may ask a question to the Team Bill.
What's the target market
Okay.
now?
Let me.
I'm sorry. Just go ahead.
Go ahead, Pak. Go ahead, Pak.
Yeah, so I'm very interested, very interesting. My question is, what's the target market? I mean, how would you price this powder?
Yes, we have already planned the target market and the pricing strategies as well. If we could see the appendix on the target market, we are targeting the middle upper to upper class who are interested to want to improve their consumption on a daily basis. We also are going to price our products from 20,000 rupiah to 70,000 rupiah with different packaging, but they will be consumed within 1 month. So 2,000 until 70,000 rupiah for 1 month consumption.
Can I just add whether this has been tested or how many people have tried it? What's their, comment on it? Or you have a pre-post type of health impact that you kind of mentioned, but then what do you track? I just want to know the pre and post. I don't know if that's actually done before, and maybe there's a similar product elsewhere. How do you compare yourself with the other products? Yeah.
Maybe we can go to the competitors. So we started off by a research on a seaweed powders, and it is proven that seaweed can actually reduce the fat uptake because there is a component called algatin. So every substance in seaweed is going to get us to be more healthy. And in terms of our value proposition compared to competitors, so far the seaweed powders that are available on the market are either used for salt substitute or other things for seasonings like bon chabi. So seaweed powder that is nutritious, that is also affordable, is still something new, and we are the first one to do that.
Consumer feedback. As a tasty, do they like?
On consumers' feedback, we are having a feedback that on the long run they might want to add taste. However, for a start, we're going to make it as tasteless as possible so that they are still able to mix it with everything, such as rice, coffee, or even desserts, ice cream or cake.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay, great. Sorry.
I got a question. What is it that you think you could be doing better vis-a-vis the competitors or the pre-existing competitors? I mean, if I look at this chart, your pricing seems sensible, but what gives you the confidence that you can actually be value additive on other things?
Yes, if I may add, thank you for the question. What we can do better than competitors is that first, we supply one of the most complete nutrition in our product compared to salt substitute, which is only consumed within your briddles of salt. First, nutrition. And the second is that we have price that is below the competitors. So with 75,000 rupiah, you can consume it for 1 month, whereas for competitors' product, they can only consume it for 1 week and not more than 1 month. Maybe other team members could add.
Yeah, and to add, the seaweed that we use are 2 of the species that are most abundant in Indonesia. So, and our competitors, such as kelp, nori powder, and mankai, these are strains that are not very common in Indonesia. And because we use the most abundant ones, we can work with farmers easily and decrease the price as well.
Okay.
Hi. I know to make an impact, it has to create tractions, right? And in the beginning, you kind of like mentions that Indonesians have a bit of cultures in their, daily daily menus. It's actually dominated by carbs and fats. So it's got to do a lot with cultures as well. I mean, like, do you think of anything to change the cultures? Because even if you actually address all of the distributions, technology, and also educations and networking, if people not quite attracted to seaweed because of the cultures, I don't think it could make any impact though.
Do we have more time to answer, ladies? Please answer the questions. It's okay. Yes. Okay. This is the concern was within our discussion as well, but we believe that we have. Do I still have time? Okay. Thank you. That is why our main strategy is to first incorporate our ingredients into caterings and restaurants, because they are the ones who provide food that people usually eat. And by knowing that, and by making people getting used to eating seaweed through these restaurants and caterings, we believe that it will then reach consumers on a wide scale.
Hi, one last question. One of the biggest problems for startup these days is about the financing and sustainability of the finances itself. Have you secured any partners or investment partners or angel investors while having this idea?
Okay, so to start our financing schemes, we're going to start with bootstrapping, only securing on 3F fundings, which are friends, family, and foods first. However, we agree that there are so many things that we have to do. And at the same time, NGOs and local governments are also going to do the same things, which are supporting the farmers. However, they don't know how to do so. And with our aligned purpose, grants from those NGOs and local governments are also sources of fundings and streams that we are going to utilize.
Have you tried proposing your ideas to them before, or this is your first time?
Yes, this is our first time, but we know that people working in similar business are getting grants from those international from those NGOs, and we believe that with alignment of ideas, we can do the same as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one last question. I'm curious about what is the situational assessment out there about the industry. You talk about to help farmers. Is it by direct marketing, or is it right now the way they are doing business are through middlemen? What are you trying to solve in order to give farmers their livelihood?
Yeah. So if you pay, so what we mentioned earlier in the slide, a lot of the problems with the farmers, and they don't have a stable income. So they're stuck, or they're dependent to one middleman or tengkulak, and they set usually a fixed price, and so they can control the profits very strictly. And the problem with the farmers, because of their lack of education, they're not optimizing. I mean, the current farming methods are not optimized as they can. Recent training programs have mentioned that they can improve productivity by 50% and increase their quality of seaweed, and therefore their profits by 20%. That's what we're trying to help them. Try to increase their productivity, trying to increase quality of their product, and by creating a channel to increase the added value of the raw material, we hope to help them gain more income.
Okay, thank you.
And how do you do that? Oh, it's okay.
Okay, sorry.
Hello.
Yes?
How do you do? How do you propose to do that? How do you propose to increase their process in farming the seaweed?
Okay, so to start, we're going to partner with local, maybe answer? Or
Partner with whom?
Partner with local cooperatives.
Are you going to partner?
Partner with the local cooperatives of the local seaweed farmers, so that first we are penetrating through the opinion leaders of the villages, of seaweed villages.
And they haven't done that right now with the local cooperatives. Have they done that today?
From our consultation sessions with other seaweed players, the seaweed farmers are usually facing problems of lengthy supply chains. That's first, and also second is the unstable supply chain and unstable demand. And yes, they do partner with cooperatives, However, their only streams of produce it's not various. They don't vary that, and there's still lack of diversification in terms of their demand, so that what our way can actually give those opportunities that hasn't been captured yet. Maybe other team member will answer.
Okay, so because the time is up, thank you, Team Bill, for presenting and answering the questions. Sorry, judges, would like to remind that each team only has 4 minutes to Q&A, so the judges can take turns in asking the questions. Thank you. So now, the second team to pitch their business is Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, you have 6 minutes to present your business deck. Good luck. Okay, is Fantastic Four with us now? Okay, good luck.
Street food vendors. They have been a part of Indonesia's culture. Travel to the busiest spots in the city. You'll find them. Even in the most secluded place, still, a bunch of them are there, ready to provide you with their warm cooking. That satisfaction of every bite of your favorite dish is their daily income. However, along with these local street food vendors comes a massive number of food waste that incur costs not only to the environment, but also to them economically. Because we find out that in order to provide your favorite food, the food waste generated may cost around 20% up until 40%. Also, what's even more interesting is that it turns out that many of these street food vendors must give out a significant portion of their income just in order to dispose their food waste to the nearest landfill. And then we realize that there's a gap that could be filled that has the potential to change the lives of millions, especially to these local street food vendors, knowing they still have difficulties in fulfilling their own daily needs. So the million-dollar question is, wouldn't it be interesting if these food waste that act as an opportunity cost and also an actual cost can be changed into revenue to these local street food vendors? Therefore, we exist. We are Gerobin, a platform for local street food vendors to sort and collect food waste in return for cash incentives. By optimizing food waste management, we generate income through profitable job opportunities that we believe will lead to the improvement of the welfare of the society. But how do we do that?
Our partners, the local street food vendors, will submit their food waste to us. In return, we will give them incentives such as cash or perks that could develop their business. The submitted food waste will be recycled into organic compost, which will later be sold to our potential buyers, which are cluster plant sellers, local farmers, and institutions. We also provide opportunities for companies who want to advertise their businesses by partnering with these local street food vendors. Furthermore, we are opening possibilities for interested companies and concerned individuals to help our cause through CSR funding as well as crowdfunding in order to initiate awareness of our movement to the society. We produce high-quality organic compost called pupuk gerobin by creating economic value out of food waste. We also create a social stimulation by increasing awareness towards better food waste management. Pupuk gerobin consists of 100% organic materials, making it far from being environmentally harmful. As food waste is generated every day by our partners, we believe that the massive supplies of food waste will ensure our economic scalability.
Pupuk gerobin will be made by using Takakura method, a method which is introduced by a Japanese scientist, which allow us to turn food waste combined with bacteria into compost on one ratio. The product will be then sold at 15,000 rupiah per sack, with as much as 67% of the revenue going to our partners as their incentives. As our competitiveness goes, compared to other types of compost, our product still has the price advantage, a suitable price for our potential buyers who demand good quality compost but at a low cost. With 40,000 kilograms of output produced and 1,000 partners as our target by 2021, we are hoping to gain over 1.4 billion rupiah revenue annually. We understand that in order to create a sustainable business, we cannot rely solely on a single revenue stream. Therefore, we also build Gerobin around other revenue streams and investment opportunities. The funding service that we provide will be a strong alternative revenue as we utilize the mobility and the massive amount of our local partners that scatter in numerous hotspots, so that company willing to use our service will gain high number of exposure. As of today, there are already 52 local street food vendors ready to partner with Gerobin to supply their high-quality organic food waste that can be turned into pupuk Gerobin, which will then can be sold to already existing 14 potential customers who have shown their interest in our product, with orders that may amount up to more than 1 ton a week.
We are also delighted to announce our partnership with PT Agro Muda Berkarya, as they are looking forward to using pupuk Gerobin to cultivate their 5,000 meter squares of farm in West Java. From these potentials, we hope that it will be our opportunity to enter the market and start our movement. By creating a food waste economy, we are able to eliminate poverty as well as encourage positive economic growth. Through optimizing food waste management also allows us to increase the welfare of society and promote both responsible consumption and production. Starting small, Gerobin could grow with endless possibilities. From collecting food waste from street food vendors to an even larger scale of business. And from selling compost to local farmers, as well as clustered plant sellers, we can further expand our business to the international markets. Last but not least, our model can be easily replicated in many different regions around the globe, such as neighboring countries in Southeast Asia, South America, and African countries that also face similar food waste problems. We believe that starting with this humble idea, Gerobin could help the lives of 10 million people, with most of them being local street vendors around the globe by 2030. We are a team of passionate learners, experienced in diverse fields, and believe in the same main goal of the food chain continuity and improvement. Gerobin is one small step leading to a giant leap of redefining our perception of food waste and the economy. We believe by fighting food waste, we also fight a much bigger issue of hunger and poverty. Join our movement towards no food goes to waste. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Fantastic Four. Your time is up. Now is the time for Q&A for 4 minutes. So the judges, who wants to go first?
I got a couple of questions, basic ones really. The first one would be, how do you actually price in COVID-19 in your model in terms of how you actually source these, close to 1 ton of waste from each vendor? And the second one would be, I'm not so sure if you want to be very happy about just generating 1 billion rupees on an annual basis. Well, how do you, project your scalability going forward as for this to be a very meaningful business proposition?
Okay, so based on our survey, we already asked several local plant sellers about the price of the organic compost regarding the COVID-19, and when we got the answers that there are no significant effects of the price of the COVID-19 situation, and when we see the scalability of our product, can we, Nika, can you next the presentation?
I was actually referring to making sure that you abide by the COVID-19 protocol when you actually go to each one of these many vendors around the country or the region or the city and what have you, because you're in the business of basically generating health, right? You don't want to be unhealthy when you're trying to generate health.
I'm sorry, Pagita, could you?
Okay, you're in the business of trying to make humanity basically feel healthier, right?
Yes.
But in order to do that, you're going to have to source the waste from thousands of vendors who may not be, adhering to the COVID-19 protocol. How do you actually mitigate that sort of a risk? Because at the end of the day, you got to scale this thing up, to where you want to be 5 to 10 years from today. Hopefully that you're not just going to be generating 1 billion a year.
Okay.
Okay, Dandi, you go.
Okay, Pagita, thank you for your question. Maybe we could proceed to slides number 32, please. Okay, so this here we can see that the food waste will be sorted first by the local street food vendors. That's why then we can pick up the food waste through our medium, which is we call a Gerobin station. During this process, we also promote the health protocol as well, not to forget about the mask and the social distancing. And then we move the food waste with our Gerobin station to the compost center, ready to be processed.
Okay.
Okay, so any other
I have a comment. You know, I guess you guys trying to solve too many problems here, and I got confused in the middle. And you know, right at the middle of your presentation, then I just realized that you guys selling compost. And my comment will be that your revenue streams need to be tweaked. You have advertising and what have you, crowdfunding, etc. I think that needs to be tweaked, because I don't think advertising get anything related to what you're doing. And then you mentioned a bit about I didn't hear when you mentioned how much will you price this this product again?
50,000
Because and you berapa?
50,000 rupiah per 5 kilogram. Sorry.
Yeah, and then yes, and then that's not cheap. And then you talk about you know, helping to reduce poverty by doing this. I don't see the connection. I just don't see connection in it.
Yeah, I guess on that note, the poverty reduction part is unclear, because I know you are actually giving some money, right, per food waste that is collected by the street vendors and to be delivered by you. But how much is it, and how is it compete with there's a plastic now, they call it a plastic, some kind of waste management, the thing that is like a Uber, kind of Uber the plastic waste and then concentrate in one place, and you pay them like 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 rupiah per kilogram. So how much do you pay the food vendor, that's collected, and how do you actually reduce poverty how do you project, how much money they would actually make by helping?
Can I add to the question? I'm just very curious. What's the cost of collecting this waste?
Yeah, that's so important.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Veronica. Fantastic Four, you can answer Mrs. Veronica's questions, and then after that, Mr. Sugeng can ask his question. Thank you. You have 2 minutes left for answering the questions from the judges.
Thank you, dear judges, for the questions. It was such an insightful comments and also some insightful questions. And we would like to answer the following questions. So how about the cost of collecting this food waste? So what we were about to do, we are collecting this food waste in a concentrated place. So we're looking forward to have these local street vendors that are concentrated in one of many places. So for example, we are looking forward to have, first of all, street food vendors that are concentrated, for example, in Sabang Street, and then also in Barito, or many other places of food hotspots in Jakarta. So we are doing that in order to reduce our cost of collecting, because it is impossible if we collect this food waste, for example, from Bintaro to Depok and then to Central Jakarta, and I think it is very impossible. But in order to tackle that, we are concentrating the local street food vendors at first, so we have and we have the capability of reducing their cost of collecting. And then talking about how much money will our partner earns, so we're reflecting back on our story with Miss Sugiyarti, which is a fruit seller in Kelapa Dua, Depok. And she mentioned that she produced food waste at around 20 kilograms per week, and which is a massive amount of food waste. And she has the problem of disposing this food waste, and with us, she can now make 20 kilograms times 2,000 rupiah, which is our
to answer the question.
price. Okay. And we we're allocating the much of the revenue that they will earn is as much as 150,000 rupiah per month, and which is a massive amount if compared to amount they have to pay to only to dispose the food waste. Thank you.
Okay, the time is up. Now, thank you for Fantastic Four for presenting and answering the questions. Now is the time for the third team to pitch their business. The third team is Paraswitch. Paraswitch, you also have 6 minutes to present your business deck. Good luck. Okay, 6 minutes starting from now.
Have you ever left your meal unfinished or let it be thrown away? And where do you think it goes? Well, most of it goes straight into the landfills without being
Good
processed
evening,
first.
ladies and gentlemen, and good evening, judges. Please allow us to present our pitch deck presentation.
Have you ever left your meal unfinished and let it be thrown away? And where do you think it goes? Well, most of it goes straight into the landfills without being processed first. Approximately 175,000 tons of waste is made every single day in Indonesia, or it is equal to 3 times the height of Gelora Bung Karno. And 60% of the waste actually comes from food. If there is no action taken, by 2030, the total amount of waste is going to be 5 times higher than the height of Monas. Why is this happening? Well, it is the chain. In Indonesia, the leftover food is delivered to the temporary dump sites and will eventually be sent to landfills. However, only 3% of the waste is recycled, and the rest goes directly into the landfills, which will be piled up gradually and harm the environment. Therefore, we are here to give you a sophisticated and impactful solution.
Let us introduce Fupuk. Fupuk is a mobile application that enables restaurants to resell unsold food of the day with cheaper price and distribute food waste for compost. We are trying to reinforce this specific part of chain where food waste collected and sent to food waste recycler to increase the amount of recycled food waste. Additionally, we believe that not every food leftover is in the form of food waste. To deal with this restaurant leftover, we are trying to resell them through our mobile application. And here's our target market. The first one are restaurants, star hotels, and supermarket who serve as the provider of food. Instead of directly throwing a perfectly fine food away, we encourage them to resell their unsold food through our app. Apparently, an established restaurant is actually paying for their food waste management. Therefore, we provide a free food waste pickup service, which will give them a quite amount of benefits. Then we have our buyers, the one who buys the unsold food of the day from the restaurants, supermarkets, and star hotels. Our main targets are people from middle income class who love searching for food discounts. Lastly, we have our composter. They will benefit from the cheap and steady supply of food waste we provide.
Yes, you can continue your presentation. You still have 3 minutes left for the presentation.
There are two cases of supply chain in our business. The first one, the restaurant owner or seller will sell their unsold food to the buyer. Whereas the second one, the seller will supply their food waste to Fupuk. Then Fupuk will sell and deliver the waste through the third-party compost producer. And here are some user interface designs for our application. And this one is for the seller. As we can see on the screen, the seller can open up their restaurant and add sub-menus to their stall. And after that, the buyer can buy the unsold delicious food as at an affordable price. However, they can only buy it from 8 until 10:30 p.m. in the evening. And the buyer also can choose various types of delivery and payment methods. And if the food is not sold yet after 10:30, the seller can supply their unsold food or their food waste to Fupuk, and our courier will pick up the food waste at 11 p.m. in the evening every day. After that, we will sell and deliver those waste through the third-party compost producers.
Now we dive into monetization. First, we charge 7% of transaction fees for every unsold food purchase. Second, we actually sell the restaurant's food waste to our composter partners. Lastly, we will make space for an in-app advertisement to create another income stream. Next. While we start everything from Jakarta through an Android mobile app, we plan on launching an iOS version the next year, as well as expanding our influence to Jabodetabek and one more metropolitan city in Indonesia in the third year. Next. Fully aware that Fupuk rely heavily on restaurant and compost entrepreneurs, we'll reach out to our key partners by direct calling and business proposal. Additionally, we'll do campaigns and roadshows to raise awareness of our brand and attract citizens to become potential buyers. In 2020, someone's influence on social media could exceed one's influence in the real physical world. Therefore, we will ride this wave and spread awareness of this food waste problem and tell them that they can make change by using Fupuk. Here are some of our competitors. However, more than just any other food rescue service, Fupuk provides food waste transportation service. We project Fupuk to reach its break-even point in 6 months, and following the profit, it is expected to reach more than 1 million users in 2023.
We believe Fupuk can help reduce the food waste by 10% in 10 years, and by making a good use of the food waste, a better food waste management can be created. Another impact is that we have the ability to stimulate compost businesses by supplying them with the food waste that we have. Lastly, the awareness of responsible consumption and production of food can be raised through the implementation of the chain that we offer. Fupuk, satu makanan, 1000 manfaat.
Okay, thank you, Para Switch. Thank you for your presentation. Now is the time for Q&A session. So Mrs. Putri Komarudin may ask a question to Para Switch.
Thank you so much. And my first question would be, have you had this idea built before, or this is still an idea? Can you answer directly so I can have the follow-up questions?
Yes, Para Switch, you can answer the question.
This is actually an idea, but we have learned from from our competitors, which actually rescue food, and we adopt that idea and combine that into a food waste pickup service. And yeah, that's what makes Fupuk.
Oh, okay. And the second question would be, how are you going to introduce this to restaurants that are not 5 stars? Because we're talking about Indonesia here. Not every restaurants are actually integrated with, technology and sufficient system to integrate your apps into. So how are you going to do that introduction? Because the introductory phase for every apps is always the hardest. Look at Gojek; they're here after like 5 to 6 years of marketing craze, so called. So yeah, That's my last question.
Okay, Paraswitch. Okay, you can answer the question. Sorry.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier about marketing, we're going to use the social media, which I believe in the near future, now and even in the near future, the number of users of social media will increase exponentially. And one of the benefit of using the social media is to market our brand and also market the restaurant itself. I believe that most restaurants today is at least having one Instagram social media account and or Facebook account, and that's where we go in. Yeah.
Okay. So your biggest spending would be on marketing and maintenance.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Putri. Now is the turn for Mr. Nico for asking a question to the Paraswitch.
Okay. Okay. Well, you guys are trying to solve a spoilage, and I have known someone who's trying to do this journey as well a few years ago. I think the challenge in this one that I might think of is the logistics, right? And but you presented your business ideas just as in ideas right now. You haven't had any early tractions, I guess, or testings. You didn't show a slide where you have testings and feedbacks from restaurants. I don't know whether you have tried this in 1 or 2 restaurants, or have you done it to see if the supply chain that's the way that you are presenting. But at least you need to test it before you launch the full app in January, you say, yeah? But here's my advice. I guess the metric is wrong, especially when you talk about break-even point, because you are a startup. You are developing an app. And as a startup, you need to grow in phases. I guess it's an entirely business model than a conventional business. One thing, especially when you launch this kind of platform, you need to validate each assumptions before you go into financials. First, you need to validate whether the customers exist. And second, you need to validate whether the market exists. It's big enough for you to address. And then finally, whether the business model works. So it should go into phases. But the way you explain it to me, that this is a solid business. A startup business is very dynamic, right? You don't have 3 years. 3 months is eternity for you guys. So, I guess my questions: have you validated this? Any saudara restoran saudara that you went to, and then really that you can take this to the final end of the journey, which is becoming a compost?
I would like to answer. We actually have done some user validation to one of the hotel in Jakarta, and this party said that they have to pay vendors to take out their trash, and this trash, like we've mentioned before, it goes straight into landfills. And I think by our existence, we can provide a service for them to take out the trash for free, and I think that is also the value proposition of our business. Thank you.
That's the validation on the problem. The problem is that the spoilage went straight to landfill. But have you validated whether there's a need for for a logistics companies or a compost company or something like that, that validate your assumptions?
Okay, Paraswitch, you still have 2 minutes to answer the questions.
I'll try adding more to my partner's answers. Actually, other than that, one of the reputable hotel in Jakarta that we ask one of a small food and beverage business, and she directly said to us that, "Oh, it will be great if you would pick up our trash for free. Then that would benefit us a lot." And other than that, we actually find an information from a journal that a restaurant is actually cutting down 5 to 10% of their turnover just to pay for the trash that they make.
Okay,
But
thank
as you move forward, you will need more data points to validate it. To validate all this in here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nico. And now is the turn for Mr. Sugeng to ask a question to the Paraswitch.
Thank you. Very interesting. I just Googled Damo Go and Makan Rescue. They sound pretty similar to your idea. So I guess I have twofold questions. The first one is what would make you different than Damo Go or Makan Rescue or Surplus? Second question is why wouldn't you pitch the idea to Pariski here and work together with Grab rather than doing an app?
I was thinking to do, yeah.
Okay, please. So those are my two questions. What's the difference between you and Damogo and Makan Rescue? And two, why wouldn't you use Grab?
Okay, Paraswitch, you can answer the question now.
Okay, for the first questions, I mean. Before that, thank you so much for the question. It actually helps us understand better about our business. The difference between us and our competitors, as we have said earlier, that we are two-in-one applications. Other than doing food rescue, we also help restaurants take out their trash, but not to landfills, but to a compost business. It's a direct relationship. And we work as their bridge, the restaurant and the compost business's bridge.
16 seconds left. Okay, thank you.
Sorry?
Mr. Sugeng, you have anything? Okay. Yeah, the time is up. Okay.
Thank you.
You still have
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paraswitch, for answering the questions and presenting your business deck. Now, the fourth team to pitch their business is a fourth team. A fourth team, please be prepared.
Good afternoon, judges and committee. We are very honored to be here. So can we share our screen?
Yes, you can. Okay, fourth team, you have 6 minutes to present your business deck. Good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is facing a problem where the number of farmers are declining. And if we let this continue to happen, Indonesia will lose all of its farmers by 2063. And then questions will arise. How can we get our food and how do we survive? Because our food security is in danger. And even though Indonesia is an agricultural country with 49 million of its people work as farmers, most of them still live in poverty. It is a shame to hear that farmers in Indonesia only make about 1 million per month, while the average provincial minimum wage is almost 3 times their earning. From this problem, we ask ourselves, how can we help? The answer is just one word: coffee shroom. We are here trying to increase farmers' income through mushroom cultivation. We also innovate from the old way of using sodas, which is now becoming expensive and unsustainable, into the new way of using coffee and tea ground. And have you ever noticed, ladies and gentlemen, that only 1% of coffee and tea is consumed, while the 99% is being wasted and end up in the landfill?
Our simplified business model shows that we have two customer segments. First is the farmers, and for the second one is the end consumers. We offer these farmers a cheaper cultivation medium, and we can guarantee them an evident increase in income through this cultivation method. And we also offer this end customer a cheaper alternative to meat and provide a steady supply of mushrooms to the market itself. We construct this business model based on three situations. First, mushrooms have a high demand. The status quo right now for the mushrooms market in Indonesia, the supply is only around 41,000 tons. On the other hand, the demand is around 53,000 tons of mushrooms, in which we can say that there is a high deficit. Second, Indonesia is ranked as the second largest food waste producer in the world, with 36.6% of it comprises of coffee and tea grounds. Third, the meat price in Indonesia is actually still 2 times higher or twice the world price for meat. Furthermore, 9.4% of Indonesian citizens still live in poverty. Hence, we can say that it is quite hard for them to be able to afford meat on a daily basis. So we conclude that for Indonesians to be able to fulfill their protein intake, they can easily choose mushroom as an alternative. From the survey that we had conducted, around 87.5% of the total coffee and tea shops were actually willing to give their leftover of coffee and tea grounds for free. This, ladies and gentlemen, creates a huge opportunity for us to be able to execute this mushroom cultivation idea. After that, we asked ourselves one question: how much money does a farmer actually require for them to be able to cultivate mushroom with us? The answer is only 180,000 rupiah. And the starter kit will already include mushroom and teaspoon, coffee tea waste, a bucket which is around 80 liters, an instruction manual, and not only that, we also will provide them with constant consultation and also education.
This is how our business works. We first collect the coffee and tea grounds from the coffee shops, and after it has gone through our quality control process, we will package them to distribute it to the farmers. The farmers will then do the cultivation with our proper guidance, and at the final stage, we will bring the harvested mushroom into the market. By this program, we can increase the farmers' income from 1 million per month to around 5.4 million per month in just 6 months, and we will empower 10 million people in 9.9 years. From the sales, we will calculate the profit by percentage share. The farmers will get 63% of the sale, and we will get the remaining 37%. To ensure the sales effectiveness of our products, we executed marketing plans to both farmers and consumers. For farmers, we socialize through village roadmaps, having a community's public figure as key coordinators, and have a limited 30 days free trial for the one who cannot afford. For consumers, we utilize advertisement and partnership collaboration to promote our product.
We already have a 10-year plan for Coffee Shroom. In just 13 months, we already achieved our break-even point. And for the time span, first, we'll focus on the farmers in our early years. Then we'll develop the end consumers, then perfect our market plans, and finally, we'll achieve our SDG goals. And in Coffee Shroom, we see that the benefits are not just only for us, but for social contribution. There are 4 advantages here. First, we increase the farmer's income by 103.5%. Second, we decrease the food waste. Third, we promote healthier lifestyle and better living standards. And fourth, we alleviate 10 million people out of poverty gradually. And we share our business concepts to some experts. And here are their thoughts. First, here we have Mr. Hanafi, Village Harjawana Secretary. He conveyed that the farmers living there still have significantly low income due to the middleman involvement. And through Coffee Shroom, the farmers would get better income. And also Mr. Adil here is an experienced mushroom farmer. He said that coffee is very nutritious for mushroom growth. And overall, that this business will highlight your portfolio. So the next time you're thinking of Coffee Shroom, we save the farmers one at a time. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Okay, thank you for team for your presentation. So now the judges may ask a question to effort team. The first one to ask a question is Mrs. Veronica, and then Mr. Gita, then Mr. Rizky. So Mrs. Veronica, please.
Hi. Yes. I see that you are trying to change also the eating habit, right? You are basing this business out of an assumption that those who actually eat meat would actually switch to mushroom with all those nutritional values and all of that. I mean, that's great, but the 10 million farmers will have to produce a kind of amount of mushroom. Do we have enough population to eat it? I'm not sure if you've done your survey, how many of the population actually love to eat this particular mushroom, knowing that it's actually grown out of teacup or coffee cup. I mean, there's a lot of education and awareness have to be brought in. How do you actually, have you actually thought about this? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bu Veronica, for your question. First, we do not want to alter every meat consumers to mushroom. We see the problems first based on the market supply and demand that is happening in the right now, the status quo. We see that the supply is very high, 53,000 tons. However, the apologies. So the demand is very high, 53,000 tons, and the supply is just as low as 41,000 tons. And we see that we could reach this market's demand if we produce this mushroom based on the coffee and tea grounds. Perhaps anyone would like to add?
Yes, Bu Veronica, just like what my friend Febe have mentioned to you before. So we can see from the graph here is that she have mentioned that year by year, we can see there is always an increase in the demand, while on the other hand, the supply was never be able to keep up. Hence, that's why we think of producing mushroom dish as a solution to answer the market's supply and demand. Thank you, Bu Veronica.
Thank you very much for your question.
Okay, now it's a turn for Mr. Gita to ask a question to a fourth.
Sure. Just to keep things in context, we have about 40 million farmers in this country. We're talking about 25% of the 40 million that you're trying to convert over a number of years. I don't know if you have a good idea of how difficult it is to convert the mindset of a particular farmer, right? And have you priced that into the equation? And I'm just curious as to what your thoughts are in getting the execution in a seamless manner on the ground.
Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Gita, for the question. I will answer the question. So first of all, just like what you said, it's really hard to convert the first farmer to becomes a mushroom cultivation. But like Secretary of Hajarwani said that not all farmers actually are profitable, and many of them are doing these farmer things is because it's just a side job. In Desa Harjawana, he said that all of them are agam farmers or petani karet, but right now currently they are not profitable because the market are really going down. It is really different market from the mushroom where the demand will be very high, and we already create a simulation about the demand of the mushroom itself, and the demands will always growing up. Because of that, we will tell the farmers itself they have to convert to mushroom. And first of all, there is two steps why we have to convert these farmers into the mushroom cultivation. First, I want to gather around the farmers that have a side job, that have farmers as the side job, and I want to turn them into the cultivations, like in Desa Harjawana and also Desa Cipanas, like Mr. Adil said. And after that, I will go into the village that they still have cultivations other than mushroom, and because we already have enough data that is already good enough for them to believe with our business model, we will have a potential to make them convert to mushroom cultivations.
I just want the team to understand that millions of farmers in this country have gone through cyclicalities, right? Some of which they've gone through some really difficult times, but they're still farming the same damn commodity, right? So just keep that in mind when you're pricing and modeling everything that you want to do.
Yep, sir. I also have an answer to that question. Actually, mushroom is different than the other cultivation, where mushroom you do not need to be there 24 hours or even 8 hours in a day. You just have to spray enough water for the mushroom, especially for the in a mountain area like Harjawana and also in Cipanas, where the environment is good enough for the mushroom. They don't need 8 hours in a day to keep looking of the mushroom. You only have to put your time around 2 hours to keep the mushroom to spray the water.
Again, if the farmers are as rational and smart as you are, I think you'd have a home run. But I'm just saying the farmers are probably not as rational as you are.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the feedback.
Yes. Perhaps in addition to that, we also want to make sure that the plan goes well. Hence, our implementation plan, we call it 2P, pre-event and post-event. In pre-event, we ensure that the farmers will accept our business and also have a sustainably run our business through the roadmaps that we establish to them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Can I still ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thanks. So first, a bit of advice first. I mean, like, I know it's anecdotal, but it feels to me like Coffee Ashroom is not a brand that easy to digest by farmers. Yeah, you may to rethink the name. And then the questions is, one is, I think it's a bit consistent with Gita just mentions as well. How to convince the farmers? I mean, like, I'm not quite sure whether it was presented or not. What will be the difference, at least in terms of quality, by using sawdust compared to this coffee grounds or tea grounds? Is there any kind of data that you guys have collected? My second question is that I know this will include a lot of logistics cost. Have you incorporated logistics cost into the costing and the pricing that you presented? Sorry, I may miss it because it was presented quite quickly. Thanks.
Okay, for team, you only have 30 seconds to answer the questions from Mr. Rizky.
Okay, Mr. Rizky, for the financial calculation, you can go to this QR code or the links for more details. And for the difference of sawdust and coffee itself, there's a lot of research that has been done that coffee and tea has a more beneficial nutrients compared to sawdust. Coffee also has a pH between 4.5 until 5, which is a really great pH for the mushroom itself to grow compared to the sawdust. And since the coffee has already been brewed, it is also sterile.
Okay, thank you for team for presenting and answering the questions. The time is up. Now is the turn for the fifth team to pitch their business. The fifth team to pitch their business is Motherload. Okay, Motherload, please be prepared. You have 6 minutes to present your business deck. Okay, good luck. Yes, Motherload, you can start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, committee. 90 million Indonesians are living on less than 18,000 rupiah per day. Meanwhile, us, as the more fortunate counterparts, use the amount of money just for a mere cup of coffee. Yet they have to use their money to fulfill all of their daily needs, including clothing and food. As we all know, it is common in Indonesia for households to rely on their husband to provide for their family. Meanwhile, women are obligated to do household chores as unemployed housewife and babysitting, making them unable to gain extra income for their families. Let's take a look on a real-life case. Meet Buati and her neighbors. Buati is a low-income housewife who is told by her husband to stay at home and not work. Yet, she is living on a 2 million rupiah per month. This situation occurs on millions of other households in Indonesia. We want to help housewives increase their family's income while staying at home. But how? We aim to empower women, generate extra income for their families by doing the things that they actually do on the daily basis. Cooking.
In addition, we also see that there is a big opportunity for Indonesians to help others through donations, as Indonesia has significantly improved on their giving behaviors, particularly in donating money to charities, where we scored 69% in giving donations on the Careful Giving Index, placing us as the 6th most generous country in the whole world. And based on that data, we have created a solution called EBO. EBO is a food social enterprise which gathers low-income housewives to cook food for extra income, where our ultimate goal is to empower low-income housewives and poor people to help them attain a better life by food. We have 3 main products. The first product being mobile app platforms to gather donations. The second product being customized donations for companies. And the last product, our commercial product, is Juice Bottle.
Okay, this is how EBO works. Basically, we use applications and websites to gather our donations. And the first, people donate on our application, and then they could see how many people are affected by their donations. And then they have to choose two types of distributions. The first one is our hub, and the second one is specific locations based on their request. If they choose to use our hub, and then our logistic partner will pick up the food at the housewives area, and then we will distribute to the people in need with specific qualifications, which is created before. And then if they want to distribute to the specific locations, we use ride-hailing applications to distribute to the specific locations that I've said before. Then we have other services for companies. Basically, we have the same concept with the consumer, but we raise funds from CSR funds, and then we customize based on their requests. And then the last product we would like to tell is just Juice Bottle. So Juice Bottle is a commercial product made by housewives, and we will sell those products to a warung nearby.
Okay, so in the first week of our operations, we have generated a traction of 8.1 million donations raised only in one day. And with those funds, we have successfully distributed 50 meals throughout Jakarta. And we still have approximately 7.1 million funds in hand, which will be distributed to those people in need starting next week.
Our donation meals fulfills the daily calorie intake, assuming that the person eats 3 times a day. We sell this meal for 20,000 rupiah, in which the households will receive a fee of 5,000 rupiah per unit, and we will take a fee of 3,154 rupiah, which is a 15% profit margin. And on the other hand, Juice Bottle will be sold at 6,000 rupiah, in which we position ourselves as an affordable fresh juice in the market, which this means that we have 28.9% profit margin, and the housewife partner will receive 500 rupiah per bottles produced. In terms of scaling strategy, we have 5 main scaling strategy, which is the first one being piloting, in which we test the market and determine the housewife's credibility. The second is launching the app and gather donations. The third one is starting to produce commercial products, in which the first one being Juice Bottle, and later on we have identified opportunities to produce seafood products. And the fourth being partnering with Women Empowerment Ministry and other NGOs in order to gain access to the B2B segment. And lastly, we aim to be partners with Grab in order to become their official donation partner. Speaking of partnering with Grab, we aim to be the feature of donation feature in the Grab app, in which we will focus on producing food and educating the households, and Grab will focus on gathering the donations and distributing them. And we have proposed 2 business model in which, if the customers want to distribute the products, the meals to poor people in specific locations, it will be in the hands of the drivers. And in addition, if they want to distribute from our hub, it will be in our hands, and Grab will receive profit sharing. And financial projections, our projections leads that in the first 2 years we will receive a loss, and the next 3 years we will receive a good amount of profit, and we need 700 million.
20 seconds left.
700 million rupiah of donations, in which we aim to have impact of 1.3 plus million meals donated in 5 years and 700 plus housewives employed. Last but not least, the team is founded by 3 founders, in which Ashila is our CEO, Baski is our CTO, Zaki our CMO, and myself, Hanif, as CFO. That is the end of our pitch. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, Motherload, your time is up. Thank you for your presentation. Now the judges may ask a question to the Motherload. The first one to ask a question is Mrs. Putri.
Mrs. Putri, you can ask a question to Mother Lu.
Yeah, thank you, Hananinta. My question is very simple. There are a lot of startups and companies doing the same thing that you guys are gonna be doing, asking for donations and relying on that for your business model. How are you going to stand out, especially in terms of COVID-19 situation, where everyone is asking for donation? Can you answer me directly so I can have the next question?
Okay, so first of all, we have conducted a competitive analysis of the business landscape of our business model. So as you can see in the chart, though some other competitors have the same features as us, no other competitor offers the same exact unique and number of features that we do offer. So it is a competitive advantage in itself. And in addition, Hanif, maybe you want to add?
And in addition, in regards with COVID, currently we aim to be just a piloting project in 2021, which is COVID is still very, very much taking effect. But in the future, we aim to start the business in a large scale if COVID is already contained in 2022.
Oh, so to kickstart, is it going to be a bootstrapping business, or do you have you approached any partners, or do you guys have any other financial sources?
Yeah, so our meals will be financed by the donations. So the donations will come into us first, and then we distribute them. So there is no, we don't need that much capital to pilot the project since the capital comes from the donators, the problem for us is we have to focus on marketing it, and we do it organically via WhatsApp groups and of course social media marketing.
Okay, that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Putri. Now is the turn for Mr. Nico to ask a question to Mother Lu. Mr. Nico?
Oh, yeah. Well, looking at this competitive analysis, you are the only guy is empowering housewives to cook. See, I guess in this event, I think I'm not looking for the best idea, right? But at least the team that can really articulate their idea really well. Because I don't get these propositions. First of all, is it donations? Is it ghost kitchen that you are trying to do? Selling juice to give donation, or a housewife cooking juices? So this is really confusing to me. If you are pitching to an investors the way you present, the way you pitch, the way you present, it will confuse them, and they at the most 2-3 minutes, when you presenting your ideas. And again, with the financials, the 5-year financials, you have so many assumptions that you need to be validated. I guess my advice to you is let go of this 5-year financials. 5-year financials is almost impossible for any startups to validate. Maybe your team would last 5 years, right? Or maybe a year. I guess 5 months is considered an eternity for a startup. Yet I say it again. So I guess you need to really look at your benchmark. I mean, who's your benchmark in this business? Is there any other company outside of Indonesia that is successfully tackling these issues?
Okay, so actually,
have you done that research to?
Okay, yeah. Actually, we've done some research, and we found that there's a company in the US called Good-R, in which they basically provide the same features as us. They cook food for donations, and but their segments is only to B2B, in which they propose CSR and at the same side, making the companies gain more tax benefits, and that's the value proposition of their company, and that's one of the benchmarks that we have then researched into. But in Indonesia, as we've consulted to some CSR experts, they said that model cannot be implemented in Indonesia, since the tax benefits will be different, since we have different laws.
Okay, to answer your first question, so our company is basically a food company that empower housewives to gain extra income. So by cooking. So first by cooking for donations, and second for cooking for our commercial products.
Okay. So you give donation for housewife to be able to cook and to sell?
Yeah, so the donations, the food will be distributed for poor people, but the ones who cook it is the housewives. So we aim to generate a double impact. So the donators will help the housewives in gaining extra income, and on the other hand, we'll feed the poor people in one shot. So that's our aim, basically.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mother Load. Now is the turn for Mr. Gita to ask the question to the Mother Load team.
I actually was going to ask the question that Nico asked, so I'll pass.
Okay.
Is it really just about leveraging off housewives and Grab? And I think he had, correctly raised the question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gita. Mother Load team, you still have 1 minute to answer Mr. Gita and Mr. Nico's questions. You want to still add some more?
Okay, so basically, we aim we started as a social project in which we aim to empower housewives, and we started to look on business opportunities, and which we found that donations could be a good business opportunity, but it wouldn't be as sustainable as commercial products, right? So we kind of looked into other segments of business opportunities, such as juice bottle, and in the future, as we grow our housewives pool, some of which will be housewives in the beaches and something like that. And we have found opportunities to produce a seafood product. So we'll have different pools of housewives in which each of them will have different types of expertise. And we will basically, help them produce their expertise and market them to the market. So that's our addition to the answer, if that answers the question.
Okay, thank you, Mother Load. So now, thank you for the presentation and thank you for answering the questions. Now is the turn for the 6th team and also the last team. So the 6th team to pitch their business is Prospero Food. Okay, Prospero Food, you also have 6 minutes to present your business deck. Good luck.
Have you ever imagined to farm by a smartphone? This idea will become the key solution for agricultural problems in Indonesia. So what are the problems? Based on statistics Indonesia, our country lost 5.1 million farmers within 10 years. If this continues, Indonesia is likely to have no farmers left in 50 years. The presence of third-party distributors forces small farmers who don't have sufficient funds to sell their crops below market prices, causing poverty among farmers. Climate change has also hit our food production system through extreme weather such as prolonged droughts and floods that have led to crop failures across the country. While Indonesia is known as an agrarian country, not all land in Indonesia can be totally optimized and accessed by many people. As of December 2019, our team conducted a survey in order to master statistical data of interest for working in the agriculture sector from the younger generations. With 90 participants ranging from 12 to 25 years old, there are 65.9% respondents who are not interested in building a career in agriculture sector, with 3 main reasons related to the agriculture, which are small income and prone to failure, takes a lot of time, less integrated technology, and insufficient land. Therefore, a new system for doing an agriculture is needed more than ever.
Okay, so after the problems and the data that have been explained, what concept do we want to propose? So we want to create an agriculture that uses the agriculture concept, where this concept will facilitate all agricultural activities. Okay, and here is the vision of our Prospero Garden. The first one is Prospero Garden become the role model for technology-based farming with an orientation to become the #1 exporter in Indonesia by 2030. And the second one is to fulfill at least 70% of the facilities and infrastructures needed by farmers all around Indonesia.
So what do we bring here? Okay, Prospero Garden have three features. There is Prospero Gadget to automate the farm, which will monitoring the soil condition and watering crops automatically based on the data. The data then will be sent to our cloud. The next is AgriStation, or machine learning that will take data from the cloud and process it with the results of giving a recommendation for farmers regarding the farm. And the last, we have Urban Sky Farm as an additional feature to farm using concept of vertical garden. All right, but how do we work with all of this? Let's continue with our customer for his features. In here we have conventional farmer and urban people. While the conventional farmer has their own land, most urban people don't. So before using the Prospero Gadget, we offer them Urban Sky Farm to make it easier to farm at their own place. All right, back to the flow. The customer can access all of the features or garden mobile and website platform from the smartphone, which then will collect the data from the cloud that is already integrated with the Prospero Gadget and AgriStation. Therefore, it will be easy for them to monitor the farm only by a few touches in the smartphone. However, we know that the ideas and the efforts to automate agriculture system have been going on for a while. And there's some obvious problem why the farmer doesn't want to automate their farm. Like, it's too expensive, the maintenance would be a problem, or is it worth to invest in something they don't really familiar with? Okay, that's why we made Prospero services to serve them on the social aspects. When the farmers buy the Prospero Gadget, they will have an option to subscribe to Prospero Care as an insurance and maintenance program for the gadget. So they don't have to worry about the gadget maintenance after installment. We will take care of it. Then after the farmer harvests their crops, they can sell it on our e-commerce, which is Prospero Market that will cut the distribution chain. And instead, we will going to connect them with customers that need fresh crops. Last, the farmers can also pitch with the investors if they need funding using Prospero Community. The platform also offers interaction between people who want to discuss about agriculture because we believe that community is powerful. All right, so what does differentiate us from our competitor? Okay, this is our competitive landscape. As we can see here, because we want to be a super agriculture system, we cover features the competitor doesn't have. Next. Nando masih mute. Okay, I'm sorry, there's some kind of technical problem.
All right, I'm sorry because there was an internet problem. All right, the next one is society parameters. There are 4 society parameters that relate to the farmers. First of all, since some aspects of the farming itself is now automatic, the workload of farmers will be decreased. And then we at Prospero Garden promote organic farming. As such, we provide ecological services such as giving recommendations about where to buy organic fertilizers. And to the third one, AgriStation will provide various recommendations such as crops and pest control to the farmers accordingly, potentially increasing the farmers' income and harvest success, which may incite motivation among young generation regarding farming. Finally, Prospero Market will help alleviate the middleman problem, effectively creating a disintermediation, and farmers can connect directly to the buyers. All of the products that we offer are part of our commitments toward the SDG points of 1, 2, 8, 9, and 12. Now, this is our financial projection. We project that we will be gaining a profit of 835 million rupiah in 4 years and having a user base of around 700,000 users. Considering the profit, we will be having an ROI percentage of 24.44%.
You have 10 seconds left.
This here is our Android prototype. When we open the application, we can choose to either log in as Prospero Farmer or Prospero Partner. The second screen shows how the farm monitoring works with custom profiles.
Prospero Food, your time is up. Thank you for your presentation. Now the judges may ask a question to the Prospero Food. The first one to ask a question is Mrs. Veronica.
Yeah, again, I guess, like Nico said a couple of times, that the clarity is need to be strengthened in the presentation. So you were talking about the data you shown was about youth interested in farming, correct, in agriculture. But at the end of the day, the users seems to be farmers of this technology, correct? Or am I getting it? You try to democratizing to democratize farmers of agriculture for all young people to actually take part in it, or just farmers? That one is actually still unclear.
Okay.
Please, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, is this so farmers or young people or both?
Okay, so it's actually both, but we focus more on the farmer first. Okay.
Okay, so farmers, because your first data, you're showing the interest of young people. Okay, that is misleading. So if this is just for farmers to actually use the tech, right? Have you actually done some studies? How many out there, farmers in Indonesia that you claim in the millions, that actually use smartphone? And those who actually use smartphone can actually understand because in financial literacy, in the financial ultra micro, only 30% actually has smartphone, and out of that 30%, only half of them actually understand how to use WhatsApp, and then even lower in using apps. So that is actually have to be taken into consideration, because probably the target is just way too ambitious, I guess. Which is still less ambitious than your other, friends who just presented late before this. But then, that part is actually need to be clarified, that, you don't show data which is not, connected with who is actually your first target to use. That's just some thoughts, and I guess, some clarification on whether we have done data collection and how many farmers out there actually have the ability, because having the smartphone is different than their digital literacy and actually using it. So that's very, very low. So that's just the thought that I have.
Okay, Prosper Food, you can answer the question directly.
Okay, so actually our main focus is more to the farmer who owns land. It's like a farmer owner. So I believe that maybe most of them is already understand about it, and we're going to have them trained. We're going to train them. Through the local cooperatives, because we know that from the local cooperative, they are already a lot of local cooperative that would be our channel to train them.
Training is one thing, but having the smartphone to begin with to use your application is another. So are you going to fund that part, or you are thinking the local cooperative will actually, buy them? They have to provide them with the tools. That's the most expensive actually in any empowerment of the bottom of the pyramid. Actually, to get them into technology, the most expensive cost is actually to get them to have that, smartphone. So have you done that study? Because that is not in your presentation.
Okay, so we actually have done some studies with our lecturer before, and our lecturer has already a previous project, and he just kind of like have a lot of partnership before with the farmers in poor Regency. So that's why I think it's going to be one of our channel to start our automation project like this. Yeah, because they already have it. I mean, in the poor Regency.
Yeah, well, okay. I rest my case. Next one, please.
I got a question, if I may, or an observation.
Yes, okay, you can.
Okay, I'm not sure, just expanding on what Veronica was alluding to. I'm not sure if you guys know that in most farms, the farmers actually don't own the land, number one. And number two, they only have access to 2G or 3G capabilities without a 4G capability. And this is actually, a high point at the government, which they have not been able to resolve for a long time. And for them to be able to roll out, 4G, much less 5G capabilities, it's going to take a long time. So for you to think about, getting the farmers to be educated about using this new technology, that's one hurdle. The other hurdle, which I think is a lot more structural or systemic, is the fact that there's no connectivity in most of the farms that you're going to be trying to teach these guys. Despite the fact they have a mobile or a smartphone, they're not going to be able to access a lot of the data that your machine learning is going to be, trying to empower these guys with.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gita. For Square Food, you only have 30 seconds to answer Mr. Gita's question because we still have Mr. Sugeng and Mr. Rizky. Yes, you can answer the question now.
All right. So because first of all, we are going to target some villages on Purworejo. Now, basically, what we are targeting right now is those villages that actually have internet, access to internet, fast internet. Now, on the time where we have already stable, where we have already settled our business and we have already stable, hopefully there will be a lot of internet access on various villages, not just on some villages.
Okay, thank you, Prospera Food. Now it's a turn for Mr. Sugeng to ask a question to Prospera Food.
Thank you. I might be slow, but I hear big words like smartphone, cloud, automation. I don't really understand actually what's the big idea and what is the problem that this technology is supposed to solve. Maybe you can help me to understand that.
Okay, Prosper Food, please answer directly.
Okay, can we go to the society parameter slide?
No, sorry, not. I understand the impact to the society. Yes, there's a lot of financial numbers. I just don't understand. You have this chart on this clouds and all these bubbles.
Hmm?
I think if you slide before that, can you just explain what the problem you're trying to solve? Is it about harvesting? Is it about irrigation? Is it about fertilizing the agriculture farm? I don't understand. What's the technology is doing here?
It's actually too ambitious, but we're trying to solve a lot of them. Like what you've already said before, we're going to trying to ecological service like irrigation system, automatic irrigation system, and we also provide them with transport services and a lot of things. Can we just go to the previous slide? Sorry. Okay, so what we're saying already, I'm sorry, what I've said about before is actually Prospera Gadget Energy Station. We can just access them from our smartphone and it's actually going to be brought to the cloud. So obviously, we're just including them in our presentation because it's just to make illustrative to you. And then does anyone want to adding something?
I guess that's
Yeah, let's paraphrase the question. How are you helping the farmers by using the smartphone cloud agri station? What are you helping them with? What is technology doing here?
Oh, the technology will just going to send them, like the Prospera Gadget is actually farming automation, and the sensor, it consists of 4 sensors, and all of the sensors is including the for farm monitoring and soil condition. It included like soil pH, soil moisture, and 4 of them like that. And then I'm going to just, I'm sorry, the gadget is going to send to the cloud, and then it's going to, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Okay, you still have 40 seconds.
Okay, the water irrigation will just automatically watering the crops if they, I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe we can move on to Paris. I'm conscious.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Sugeng. I actually had the same questions as you do. I didn't really get the basic concepts. Pak Sugeng tried to ask what is actually the role of the apps to the farmers. But I also have the questions of what is the role of the young urban people here that is in the chart. I'm not quite clear. What is their role? To be honest with you, in the beginning of your presentation, I was quite excited with some original concepts of getting young urban involved in farming. But then I got lost in the presentation somehow.
Okay, Prosper Food, you only have 28 seconds left to answer Mr. Rizky's question.
Okay, so actually, this is going to give them, actually, we're going to guide them from the start and to the end. Like the start is by monitoring the soil condition, and then it's going to watering automatically so that the water is not actually getting wasted. And after that, we also want them to use our Prospero market to sell their foods or sell their crops, so that it actually cut in the middleman on distribution chain. I think that's quite important. And then we also want to give them recommendation by the agri-station. It's actually the agri-station, okay, to give them a recommendation. So that is actually going to give them a prediction about what crops going to be suitable for them in the next season, like that, for the agri-station, I think.
Okay, thank you, Prosper Food. So, Mr. Rizky, is it all from you?
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rizky, and thank you for Prosper Food for delivering the pitch and answering the questions. So finally, the pitching session has concluded. We thank all of our finalists for their brilliant presentation. So in the next 20 minutes, the judges will discuss to determine the business deck presentation, and the judges will discuss to determine the winning team before coming back for the winner announcement. And next up, we will enjoy the performance of a charismatic young man who is also a student at Universitas Indonesia. Please welcome Abi Praya Chondro Negoro.
Hi there! I'm so delighted to be here. My name is Praya. I'm going to be playing two songs which are very popular. I'm going to be singing and playing the piano at the same time. So I hope you all enjoy, you tune in, sing along, whatever. Selamat mendengarkan. I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, and you softly, and it's me you need to show how deep is your love, is your love, how deep is your love. I really need to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest hour. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think that I care for you, but you know down inside that I really do. And it's me you need to show how deep is your love, is your love, how deep is your love. I really mean to learn, 'cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down That was the first song, How Deep Is Your Love by Bee Gees. Now the next song is as popular. It's by the famous R&B singer Brian McKnight. It's called One Last Cry. My shattered dreams and broken heart, I'm ending on the shelf. I saw you holding hands, standing close to someone else. Now I sit all alone, wishing all my feeling was gone. I gave my best to you, nothing for me to do, but if one last cry, before I leave it all behind, I gotta put you out of my mind this time. Stop living life, I guess I'm down to my last cry. I was here, you were there. Guess we never could agree. While the sun shines on you, I need some love to rain on me. Still I sit all alone, wishing all my feeling was gone. Gotta get over you, nothing for me to do, but if one last cry, before I leave it all behind, I gotta put you out of my mind this time. Stop living life, I know I gotta be strong, 'cause round me life goes on and on and on and on. I'm gonna dry my eyes right after I have my one last cry, before I leave it all behind. I gotta put you out of my mind for the very last time. Stop living life, I guess I'm down. I guess I'm down. I guess I'm down. So one last cry. Thank you. That's all from me. Have a good night.
Thank you, Praya. Isn't his voice so soothing and soulful? Well, your ears will continue to be blessed as we will now enjoy the performance of another talented singer at Universitas Indonesia. Please welcome Keisha Angeli.
Hello everyone, my name is Keisha Angeli and I am very happy and glad to be here with all of you tonight as we are here to celebrate the final round of Hult Prize Universitas Indonesia. So tonight I am going to be singing a few of my favorite songs and I am going to do a medley of it. So without further ado, I hope you all enjoy. Here we go. Boy, I know this might seem strange, but let me know from out of all the voices into you this way. Since I've been watching you for a while, and I just gotta let you know that I'm really feeling your style. Since I have to know your name and leave you with my number, and I hope that you will call me someday. If you want, you can give me yours too, and if you don't, well, I ain't mad at you. We could still be cool, cause I'm not trying to pressure you. Just can't stop thinking about you. You ain't even really gotta be my boyfriend. I just wanna know your name, and maybe sometimes we could hang out, or chill. It's undeniable that we should be together. It's so incredible how I used to say that I fall never. The basis is need to know if you don't know just how I feel. And let me show you now that I'm for real. If all things in time, time will reveal. You're like a dream come true too. Just wanna be with you, tree. Girl, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. And four repeats this 1, 2, 3, 5. Make you fall in love with me. And if ever I believe my work is done, then I started back in one. Cause one, you're like a dream come true. Two, I just wanna be with you. Three, girl, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. And four, repeats this 1, 2, 3, 5. Make you fall in love with me. If ever I believe my work is done, then I started back in one. All I hear is raindrops falling on the rooftops. Oh baby, tell me why'd you have to go? Cause this pain I feel it won't go away. And I just wanna let you know that I'm really feeling I ain't mad at you. We could still be cool. 'Cause one, you're like a dream come true. Two, just wanna be with you. Three, girl, it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. Four, the business 1, 2, 3. 5, make you fall in love with me. If ever I believe my work is done, then I started back Send me your location, let's focus on communicating. 'Cause I don't need nothing else but you. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. At times I wonder why I fool with you. This is new to me, this is new to you. Initially, I didn't wanna fall for you. Gathered my attention, it was all for you. So don't take advantage, don't leave my heart damaged. To understand that things go a little bit better when you blend it. Oh, won't you send me your location, let's focus on communicating. 'Cause I don't need nothing else but you. Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you. I like my girls just like I like my honey. Sweet, little selfish. Oh, I like my woman like I like my money. Green, little jealous. Oh, 'cause I'm a beautiful wreck, a colorful mess, but I'm charming. Oh, I'm a heartbreak fair with a stone cold neck, yeah, I'm charming. Oh, the pretty girls in the world, but I'm in this place with you. Color of the light I came to find, but fire will stay with you. I would stay with you. I would stay with you. I can't wait till I get you on the floor, cool looking. Going on so high, just like an oven, and I'll burn myself. It just had to touch it. He's so fine tonight. As long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight. And we gon' make stop tonight. So let me show you a few things. All dressed up in black and white, and I'm dressed in that dress you like. Love is swinging in the air tonight. Let me show you a few things. Let me show you a few things. Show you a few things about love. Now we're in the swing of love. Let me show you a few things. Show you a few things about love. In New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can do. Now you're New York. This just will make you feel brand new. Big lights will inspire you. Hear it from New York, New York, New York. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kashi. Please give a virtual round of applause to the two talented singers. Thank you for adding the joy to this extravagant night. So now we will have a short break around 10 minutes. So we'll see you again in 10 minutes. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, welcome back, audience. So now, the judges have now finished their discussion. However, don't get too nervous yet, finalists. We are not announcing the winner yet. So, today, the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia is honored to have among us 6 brilliant and prominent people from different backgrounds and fields in Indonesia as our judges. The best part is, they are not here only to judge, they are also here to participate in a talk show which will begin shortly. The talk show will be moderated by Ms. Stella Kusumawardani. Ms. Stella Kusumawardani is an economist at Tenggara Strategics. She received her master's degree in International and Development Economics from the Australian National University in 2018 and a bachelor's degree in Communication Science from Universitas Indonesia in 2014. Her research interests include business economics, particularly in energy and digital economy, and big data analysis. She has been working on making business growth and economic analysis on different technology companies, particularly in the transportation sector. Her most notable work was the estimation of consumer surplus using big data from technology company Grab in 2018. Currently, Stella is working on a study to assess market opportunities and challenges in Indonesia's renewable energy sector. She has been working closely with renewable energy players from China, Japan, and South Korea, or CJK, to identify issues faced by East Asian companies and investors to attract more investment in Indonesia's renewable energy sector. In response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Stella is also currently running a study to measure the elasticity of high-frequency indicators, such as the Facebook mobility data, to traditional macroeconomic data. The study aims to track real-time economic progress for evidence-based policymaking during this fast-changing time. In addition, Stella is also working on social network analysis studies, utilizing open source data to combine her qualitative and quantitative skills in mixed method research. Her qualitative skills gained from writing daily media and monitoring summaries. Weekly issues background and analysis is complemented with her quantitative skill to help address issues affecting business and investments in Indonesia. She clearly has the knowledge and skills to moderate a talk show among our judges. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy the Judges Talk Show.
Good evening, everyone. Can anyone hear me? Right, yes.
Yep, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you, Hannah, for introducing me. Good evening, everyone. I'm Stella, your moderator for today. Thank you for staying put for our talk show today. Now, we are here because we want to start a change, solve social issues, and create an impact to make this world a better place. Previously, we have seen the most brilliant business plans from Universitas Indonesia students that could possibly make that happen. And right now with us, we have the amazing judges who have made that change happen. In the next 30 minutes, we are going to learn about how they did it so we can all together learn how to make this world a better place. Good afternoon to our judges. Selamat sore, Bapak, Ibu.
Sore, malam.
Sore, malam, yes.
Ya, udah malam.
Thank you. Since the theme for Hult Prize this year is Food for Good, I would like to first ask our 2011 to 2014 Trade Minister, Pak Gita Wirjawan, who is also the founder of Ancora Group, Advisory Board Chairman of the School of Government and Public Policy. Selamat sore, selamat malam, Pak Gita.
Malam, Stella. Good to be here. Happy to be here.
I think I'm more happier to be talking with you here, sir. A bit nervous, actually. So, Pak Gita, I'd like to ask you, Since you have an experience in being a trade minister of this country, what does this experience tell you about the food supply chain situation in Indonesia? Has it improved over the last few years? And with the new resources that we have now, such as the technology, what do you think can be improved?
I think there's been some progress of incrementalism. I don't think there has been, game-changing, innovations in a context of food supply chain or even agriculture. While we have seen in the last 5 to 10 years major disruptions in retail, in transportation and travel, and to some extent financial services. But if you talk about supply chain overall, no, not a whole lot has been done. But I think on the back of this, I'm feeling very optimistic about the future in terms of how technological innovations could actually break down the multi-layers that have, I think, costed, the people of Indonesia so much more than necessary. And I think it's high time. And I think this goes into, the extent to which or how quickly we can actually see financial inclusion going up and how we can see connectivity, the basic hard and soft infrastructures that are being rolled out in the regions. And that, I think, will help in basically seeing a lot more disruptions that will bring about higher efficiency and effectiveness.
I see. So I think that is one of the reasons that food has been the topic of the Hult Prize this year, because the progress has been could be improved, but there still needs more. There are more things that we still need to do. And
right.
About technology, we have the expert of implementing technology to solve multiple social issues here, Pak Rizky Kramadi Brata, President of Grab Indonesia. Selamat malam, Pak. It's really nice to have the opportunity to see you again, despite being virtually. Yeah, Pak Rizky, I'd like
Malam, Stella. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, sir. Pak Rizky, Grab as a technology platform has addressed several social issues and in multiple sectors as well, such as transportation and logistics, SME development, and as Pagita mentioned, financial inclusion. And Grab's impact has been measured both in economic terms and from the quality of life perspective. My question is, what do you think is the role of technology in creating this impact, and how do you imagine that it would to be implemented in the food industry?
I see. Okay. So, yep, technology, I think from the impacts perspective, it gives a lot of benefits to many elements in the value chain. It's up to the point that we feel like we also at the same time carry social responsibilities. As in the platforms is actually in the using technological platform is not only customers that are connected, but cannot be avoided that many MSMEs or UMKM now are connected to our platforms. So the role of technology is not just to onboard them and then be part of the digital ecosystem, but also to ensure they could grow with the this digital ecosystems. So we will need to actually provide much more than onboarding them and be part of platforms, but equip them not only with the educational mechanisms, but also with technological tools or platforms that could help to grow them, whether it's to knowledge buildings or another value chains, or giving them the tools for them to be able to be more productive compared to the way that they used to be doing business, the old way or the conventional ways. Only by that, then the economic impacts could be optimized, and then people could see the benefits, and more people will get into digital platforms, because not only they could be part of maybe the current trend, but they could really see that business could grow, and of course countries will feel the benefits as well. And in terms of foods as well, and in terms of foods, definitely it's part of our mechanisms and process right now. We do a lot of process using foods, but the challenge right now is how to make it like what we discuss right now, more environmental friendly. It's actually considering food for goods. We do some initiatives to cut plastics and carbon offsettings as well. We started all of those initiatives ahead of the industry players, and hopefully in the long run, that could actually help the cause of the food for good as we discussed today with all the teams. Thank you.
I see, sir. So it's not only a matter of sustainable business, but also the social and economic impact that the business brings to the society. And that this is what is interesting about social enterprises. And talking about social enterprises, we have the expert also here, Ibu Veronica Kawandam, the founder and CEO of Yayasan Cinta Anak Bangsa Foundation. Selamat malam, Ibu.
Hai, kedengeran nggak, Stay? Oh, kedengeran.
I can hear you.
Hi, Stella. Good to meet you here.
Good to finally meet you, Ibu. Ibu, I'd like to ask a question about social enterprise. We know that funding is important in all kinds of businesses, but social enterprise is unique. What do you think is the most important thing to have for people who want to have a social enterprise?
In terms of their innovation, correct? Or in terms of their business itself?
Can be both, and also the spirit that they need to.
Yeah. I think everybody wants sustainability, whether be it social, non-social. Sustainability is important. We agree on that. What can sustain a social enterprise? Definitely the business itself. It has to enterprise, right? And it has, quote unquote, barang dagangan. There should be a trading activity, meaning that it has to generate revenue themselves through their business model. So business model, what is missing from the so many thousands of social enterprise? I mean, we have a platform called Platform Usaha Sosial, Plus. We know that business model is not actually come naturally to social enterprise because they start with the heart, they start want to do good, but they need help in that department. So without, in absence of business model, usually it's hard to get that financial sustainability, let alone the sustainability from impact. So the impact side is the hardest part. Now, being a social enterprise is actually harder. People think that, being an entrepreneur is hard, but social entrepreneur is harder because you have to show that you can return the capital to the investor. And at the same time, you need to measure the impact, but nobody wants to pay for impact measurement. That's the problem. So whose cost is it going to be? So they have to put that cost back into the business. That means our product become not competitive because it's pricey. So impact is still expensive in a sense. So although of course the Gen Z, millennials, they love to buy products with impact story, but the measurement of it is still expensive because nobody wants to pay. Investors do not want to pay for it. Usually, I mean, if we do get investors who wants to pay, the impact first investors, very small number in the world, we're looking at probably less than 5%. So of all the bulk of investors or those who call themselves impact investors. So that's sustainability from both financial and then also out there and innovate, wants to do good for the world. That's all creating hope, and hope is what we need for a better world.
That's really wonderful, Ibu. Hope is actually it's really one of the things that we need. And I do agree with you, Ibu. It is very hard to find a company that wants to fund impact measurement. As a researcher, I totally feel that, but I feel lucky because we have Pak Rizky here, who is one of the few companies who would pay to measure impacts.
Well, I'm gonna come back to you, Pak Rizky.
Yeah, Ibu Veronica, thank you for mentioning about the business models because it is something that I think is the most apparently missing among social enterprises. So I'd like to ask here to Pak Sugeng Wibowo, partner of a global firm, Bain & Company. Selamat malam, Pak Sugeng.
Malam, Stella. Good to be here. Good to see you.
To finally meet you, sir. So, sir, I'd like to ask from the business management perspective, since we're talking particularly about the food industry, what is the most fundamental difference between social enterprises in the food industry and in other industry, especially if you take into account the Indonesian context?
Well, I think the social impact is huge, but I also want to say that the amount of investors who are looking at ESG investments have doubled the last 2 years. In fact, we just did a research at Bain Company on the potential value creation from ESG. particularly for food. We think there's about $200 billion of value in Southeast Asia alone, mostly in Indonesia by 2030 per year. We looked at the finalists and many of the elements are there. The reducing waste, for example, changing the dietary shifts from meat to low-cost protein, a lot of opportunities. So I don't see it as a special issue. I think agriculture is a big business, and there's a lot of investors who are looking at opportunities in the sector.
I see. Thank you very much, Pak Sugeng. Now let's hear from the investors' perspective regarding the agriculture industry in Indonesia. I'd like to ask a question to Pak Niko Wijaya, the CEO of BRI Ventures. Selamat malam, Pak Niko.
Selamat malam semua.
Pak Niko, you have worked with startups for years and you have also worked in an FMCG industry before. So looking at the finalists pitching today, is there anything that you want to tell us about startups and the food industry that you think have been missing today? And also, what do venture capitalists look for when they want to fund a startup?
We have two agriculture portfolios in our company. One is called Tani Hub, and that's what's most interesting about Tani Hub, because there are also a small kind of conglomerate. They are also a fintech company. They're also an off-taker company. But we are currently engaged with Tani Hub quite close, considering that we have a division called BRI Agro. That is that's the objectives is to reach to farmers. Currently, Tani Hub engaged in financing for farmers, eliminating middlemen. This is what we learned from them, is that they are also distributing all the harvest to end users. In this case, restaurants, hotels, and also end customers. During the COVID, their B2B is because most of their B2B clients are hotels and F&B, and it was hit quite hard during the COVID, but their B2C segments grew almost 100% in GMV. So that is something that that we try to look at this sector quite closely. Right now, they are engaging more than 30,000 farmers in Central Java and East Java, which they break up into several hundreds of what they call group tani. And this group tani usually consists of 50 to 20 farmers. With okay, and then and the condition in rural areas, especially increasing the livelihood of the farmers, onboarding them to use the benefit of technologies is through assistance. Just like when you remember when e-commerce first deployed to second and third tier cities of Indonesia, they have agents that go around the kampung and use the pad and go into Tokopedia to shop for something, and they give cash, and that's how it works, for them, and or onboarding merchants into selling into their platforms. So I guess from what I heard from the pitch today, many students, I guess, didn't realize the real challenge in how to engage with rural farmers, because this is how this is how the use of productive technologies in our societies are implemented, through assistance, and especially in rural areas. The way they embrace technology is through learning groups. So from there, we get their data, how much harvest they gain or loss, and then we see the potentials to include them to financial services, because most of them didn't have bank accounts back then. Once they become sort of exposed to finances, and there's quite a P2P players in Indonesia that engage to rural farmers. That's how the real challenge begin, because because this is culturally, I guess, in our DNA, even city people like me, when we have excess of money and we use it for something else, not for investing, not for a productive thing, but the same thing happen in rural areas. So once they get funding from Tani Fund, the farmers usually allocate only 60% to productive and 40% to buying the newest gadget. So the real challenge was that initially Tani Hub find out about this problem, and the way they try to educate the farmers is through the amount of money that they the given a productive loan to it's automatically switched into a tools like pupuk and like agricultural tools or anything else. So it didn't get spoiled by the unnecessary spending that they will have by the end of the month. So I guess there's a lot of challenges still, and I think the space is huge. And I guess the Ministry of State own enterprise is focusing more into this agriculture stream, so to say. And we will, I guess, looking into a more companies in these verticals, because the potentials is still in demand.
I see. So yeah, again, Hult Prize have chosen a very relevant and up-to-date theme, which is the food. And it is very relevant to the situation in our country, in which the agricultural sector has the potential to grow even more. And I'm glad that you mentioned Tani Group, because I'm also a fan of Tani Group. I'd rather put my money in Tani Fund.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. Great guys, really.
Yes. We have a judge here who is also passionate in increasing financial inclusion. She is a member of the House of Representatives Commission 11, Mbak Putri Komarudin.
Hi, Stella. Nice to meet you online.
Hi, Mbak Putri. It's really nice to finally meet you. Mbak Putri, I'd like to ask the last question here, since we have a very short time for talk show. I wish I could have more time to speak more with the judges, but we have talked about the business management and business model perspective. What is lacking in this discussion is from the regulation. So I'd like to ask you, I think this is the most important question today I have for the judges. As a policymaker, do you have any policy in mind that you want our legislation to make room for, or is there any initiatives that you want to start to help social enterprises to thrive?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question, Stella. I want to share with you the issues that I have continuously raised to my counterparts in House Commission 11. And it is actually grassroots issues that emerge from my electoral districts in Kabupaten Bekasi, Karawang, and Purwakarta. You may or may not have been there, but it is actually very close to Jakarta, only 1.5 hours. And I saw firsthand how these issues affect people's lives and their livelihood in my hometown, actually, because Purwakarta is actually my hometown. And the issue of illegal group lending scheme or loan sharks, commonly known as Bank Emok or Bank Keliling. And this scheme usually provides small short-term loans with high interest rates and also frequent billing, which is debted daily or weekly. And we often encounter this issue every time we visit the districts and even throughout the campaign season. And people there told me that Bank Emok group members' inability to pay off credits often cause disputes between members or neighbors, and also causing marital problems and eventually leading to separation. And that's why that has become one of the reasons why the divorce rates in West Java is very high, because of this Bank Emok issue. And on the larger scale, predatory lending through illegal online lending schemes, those without OJK's permits, have increasingly become imminent. And not only that the terms are unfair to the borrowers, but they also practice abusive as well as unethical means to collect debts. And therefore, we in the House Commission 11 repeatedly urge OJK as the regulator to regulate group lending schemes and pushing for better financial literacy nationwide. And so that people start to internalize the use of group lending for more productive means, as mentioned by all the other panelists just now, and inform which lending scheme that is safe. And that is why, as I am very concerned about the eradication of illegal group lending and illegal online lending schemes, we urgently strengthened uh, and refine our digital-based financial product or service regulations. And currently, the related provisions are still administrative and in the form of OJK regulation only, or as known as POJK on IT-based lending and borrowing services. And so I think that a higher legal umbrella regulation needs to be established immediately. And not only that, it will serve as a foundation for more technical regulation, but also it must also set up the supervisory authority, criminal or administrative sanctions, and most importantly, consumer data protection provision. And currently, the financial technology bill is included in the 2020 until 2024 national legislation program. And we will continue to push for the bill to start the legislation process. And of course, the House cannot move on its own. It requires active support from various stakeholders like Stella, Pak Nico, and Pak Gita, and Bu Veronica, everyone present here. And the views conveyed is beneficial for us as drafters to capture the regulatory needs so that the resulting provisions will be useful and relevant.
Thank you very much, Mbak Putri. I really do hope and will support for the bill to pass. And I'm very happy to be closing the talk show in a positive and optimistic tone, which is a betterment of our both agricultural industry and the financial system in the country from the grassroots level. Thank you very much, Mbak Putri. And thank you also to all our judges today for the amazing insight. I feel very grateful for having the chance to talk to you all here. And also thank you to the Hult Prize at UI committee for the opportunity. And before we close the session, I would like to invite all the judges and the MC here for a photo session. Is the documentation team ready?
Yeah. If you don't mind, I would like to jump in the documentation too. I did get a chance to have a documentation with all the judges back in the breakout room. So yeah, here, I'm going to count to 3. So please get ready for your pose. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Okay, the last one. Thank you. It's done.
Thank you to all the judges and thank you for the committee. Thank you very much, the audience, everyone. Good evening, and I'm giving back the screen to Hannah. See you.
Thank you.
Stella. Thank you to our judges and to our moderator, Ms. Stella Kusumawardani, for the insightful talk show session. We truly appreciate the perspective and knowledge you shared with us today. Finally, it is time for the most awaited session of the night, the announcement of the winners. After a discussion among the judges, they have selected the teams that delivered the best business today. But before we continue, we would like to remind you guys just how big the Hult Prize effect is for all participants. So, please enjoy the following video.
Inherent in every fundamental particle, which makes up everything in our world, is something called a magnetic moment. Each one is essentially a small magnet with a direction and a power to influence the world. The problem is that in most things, each one's direction is arbitrary, so their potentials cancel one another out, and the sum of the whole is nothing. Something only becomes magnetic, capable of that magical force that normal things lack, when all of the individuals that make it up are aligned. That potential to influence the world is inherent in everything and lives inside each and every individual. But it only emerges, it only becomes powerful when those individuals share one common aim.
I can picture us in our messy, tiny dorm, just studying for finals, when he came and he told me, listen, there's this Hult Prize competition. Are you in?
The poster was actually stuck on one of the walls.
I heard about it in the news. One of the teams had won right in my backyard.
We were introduced to the competition by our campus director.
I watched the live stream of the Hult Prize finals in my campus dorm room.
An email from a friend that, of course, he didn't know and I didn't know was about to change my life.
It literally changed my life from wanting to be an investment banker to pursuing a life of impact.
All these passionate young people who want to affect change but aren't sure how. And all of a sudden you have this organizing force that orients all of those vectors for all of those people from all around the world towards that common purpose with a common structure, with a common objective.
I was just like any other student. They don't have their north clear. After the Hult Prize, I was completely different.
From the outside, you may not really understand it, but when you come to the inside and you see this catalytic transformation.
At that moment was the moment that we realized that Hult Prize was the most amazing tool that we had to start something that would change our life.
This is not about the competition at all.
We exist to change your trajectory on what you believe is possible and what you believe is impossible. And then we take it a step further, making that impossible idea a reality.
They turn from pessimists to people who look around them now looking for problems that they can solve. How can they be part of the solution?
It's time we have solutions that really scale and cause momentous impact around the world.
If we don't do it, no one's gonna do it for us.
In that kind of impact or effect on human beings, on young people, I have never seen anything.
I don't even have words for the magnitude, dedication, and passion behind what they bring. It's so inspiring.
And it won't leave them. It becomes a core part of who they are.
These individuals are gonna be different human beings by the end of it.
All these different people coming together.
All working towards a better future, a better tomorrow. It's not just words.
An army of people.
More than a competition, more than friends, a family.
A global social movement that can change the lives of millions of people.
This is the stuff that changes countries, that changes the world.
That is the whole point. The community. That is Hult Prize.
Sometimes you find yourself very small. You think that you can't do anything in this world, but when you meet Hult Prize, you feel so big. Your intelligence, your passion, your love for the world can change lives.
The power to influence the world lives inside each of you, each of us, where it's always been. But if you want to make magic, create alchemy, have real impact, you have to pull people together toward a common aim. That's what we've learned over the last 10 years. So the invitation, the question we ask you to consider if you plan to change the world, is what's your North Star? And who's coming to find it?
Okay, so we've watched the Hult Prize effect video, and now, without further ado, we will now announce the winner of the favorite theme category. The winner of the favorite theme category is Paraswitch. Congratulations to Paraswitch for winning the favorite theme category. For the Paraswitch team, would you like to say something to your supporters?
I've added work the way I expect them to. When I get to the end again, it's escape to end there.
To the Paraswitch team.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
First of all, thank you so much for the support, and thank you so much, judges, for all the comments. Yeah, that's all from us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Paraswitch team. Once again, congratulations to Paraswitch. And now, we will announce the second runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. The second runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia is
Save on bandwidth because you're showing
Team Bill. Congratulations to Team Bill as the second runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. Team Bill, are you with me now? So Team Bill, how are you feeling?
each one, what the advantages and disadvantages are to determine which one works for you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so as a team representative, we would like to thank all of the committee or all of the judges for all the insights and also for the feedbacks during our process, especially for the mentoring sessions. It has been a very nice journey, and we're looking forward for another one. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Bill. And once again, congratulations to Team Bill. And now we will announce the first runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. The first runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia is Motherload. Congratulations to Motherload as the first runner-up of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. Motherload team, do you have something to say?
Video. Hello.
Hello, are you with me?
Yes, hi.
So we're Team Motherload, and we want to thank all of
The judges.
the judges
And the supporters. And it's been an honor to present to you judges, and it's been a pleasure to compete in Hult Prize. So that's it from Motherload, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Motherload. For the judges, do you have something to say to Motherload team? Maybe from Mr. Sugeng?
Well, congratulations. We're quite impressed. Can further develop the idea, and all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Sugeng. And once again, congratulations to Motherload. And finally, it is the time to announce the winning team. First of all, we would like to remind the non-winning teams that your ideas can still go competing at the Hult Prize by joining the online pool of applications available at hultprize.org for a chance to make it into the 2021 regionals, as long as you submit it before December 17th, 2020. All right, without further ado, let us announce the winner of the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. The winner of the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia goes to Paraswitch. Congratulations to Paraswitch. You have officially won the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. So, Paraswitch team, how do you feel? Maybe Odetta can unmute. and say something to the judges and the audience? Hello, Odetta, are you?
I'm actually really surprised. Thank you very much, Hult Prize, for the opportunity, and thank you for the judges for the feedback. I'm very grateful that I can, have this experience. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Salsa. Any other team member want to say something to the judges or to the audience?
I would like to say something. This is totally unexpected for us. We really didn't expect this, and we know that there are so many flaws in our pitch deck, but the fact that so many people cheer for us, support for us, we're so thankful of them, and we just can thank you all enough. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Adeline. And for the judges, do you have something to say to Para Switch team? Maybe Mrs. Putri want to say something to Para Switch team?
Yeah, congratulations everyone in the Paraswitch team. Of course, we as the younger generation must understand what we want to improve and, just be consistent on our fight and focus. So good luck, guys. It's going to be a wonderful journey ahead.
Thank you, Mrs. Putri. So congratulations once again to all the winners. And now, before we end this event, we will hear a closing speech from Ashifa Ispari as the campus director of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. For
Okay.
Ashifa Ispari, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashifa Isfari, and I am the campus director of Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia. First of all, I would like to tell you a short story. It is true that Hult Prize has been held before at UI since 2014. However, the program vanished in 2016. While I do not know the reason for its disappearance, I just know that there are many reasons why Hult Prize needs to be back. 2020 has been a tough year for humankind, but in the midst of it all, the Hult Prize gave us an opportunity to make lemonade out of the lemons life thrown our way. The Hult Prize gave us the chance to bring its prestigious and monumental event to our campus back. They even gave us the option to do it from the comfort of our own homes, as you can see now, making sure our safety and health were the priority. While it has not been easy to plan and execute a program essentially from scratch, since there was not any Hult Prize program here in UI in the last 4 years, I have been fortunate enough to have the most incredible team I could ask for. Consisting of only 16 members, our organizing committee was able to pull off a successful Hult Prize on-campus program with more than 450 people registered to the competition. We also held 4 training sessions, 3 fireside chat webinars, 2 workshops, and 1 national webinar, all with seasoned and prominent speakers, in addition to the one-on-one mentoring program with the Forbes 30 Under 30. We even created an Instagram Live with a world-class chef to discuss the authenticity of food. All of this would not be possible without every single one of the organizing committee, especially the board of directors, which are Priska Andrina, Arminta Kinanti, Muhammad Akib, and Amelia Scarlatti. I sincerely thank you for believing in me when I invited you to join my committee, even when you had no idea what we were getting into. I would also like to thank our 25 judges in total and our facilitators for the valuable time you provided our community. You are now part of more than 150,000 experts and mentors in the Hult Prize. I would also like to express my gratitude to all of the sponsors, media partners, and of course, Universitas Indonesia, especially to Direktorat Kemahasiswaan for helping us make the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia a reality. Lastly, I would like to say thank you to our participants. Thank you for having a passion for change in this world and for contributing to solve the Food for Good challenge. It has been an honor for me to provide the platform for all the bright minds in Universitas Indonesia. Congratulations to the winning team that will represent Indonesia in the regional summit. I sincerely hope you will continue to the global finals and make our country proud. And to the teams that didn't win,
I really hope you continue to develop your business and create impact for the community. Finally, I would like to thank the Hult Prize itself for giving me the opportunity to believe in my generation and provide them a place to experiment and develop, both as an entrepreneur and as a person. May we, youth, not just be a generation of complaints, but a generation that will bring about change. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashifa Ispari, for your inspiring closing speech. And now we have finally reached the end of our event. Thank you once again to all judges, participants, and audience for attending this event. We would also like to express our gratitude to our sponsors in the home and our media partners, which are Liputan 6, Merdeka.com, Media Indonesia, Uzone, P Radio, Good News from Indonesia, Perspektifku, Badan Otonom Ekonomi KFEB UI, Pers Suara Mahasiswa UI, and Radio Telekomunikasi Citra UI. Without them, this program wouldn't be possible. Stay updated and involved with the Hult Prize and Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia on our social media platforms. We are active on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and even TikTok. You can also visit our website at hultprize.org, where you can find an opportunity to take your pitch to the next level by signing up for the Hult Prize Level 1 Pitch certificate certified by the Hult International Business School. My name is Hananinta Hasnam, and on behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to say our final thank you and apologies for any inconvenience today. It has been a great pleasure to guide you through the Hult Prize at Universitas Indonesia final round. Changemakers of Universitas Indonesia, see you next year.
I love the Hult Prize. You, in so many ways, represent the future with the idea of creative cooperation. So I want to thank the Hult executives for offering this prize every year and for giving all these incredibly gifted young people the chance to bring their ideas to bear on major challenges.
Tiap generasi punya cara berbeda untuk mengisi kemerdekaan. Sebagai pengisi kemerdekaan, kita adalah pahlawan perubahan yang bergerak taklukkan perubahan.
Bergerak terus bergerak, nyalakan api semangat, kita buat semesta dan bumi pertiwi senang. Kita berubah, serentak kita melangkah demi masa depan yang cerah, taklukkan perubahan. Berubah untuk maju bersama, jalin semangat bersama, kita pantang menyerah, mewujudkan harapan yang baru demi Indonesiaku, semua bisa berubah maju.
Radio Telekomunikasi Cipta Universitas Indonesia
107.9 FM.
Your favorite student radio in town.
The best source of music, fun, and day-to-day info.
Here to communicate, educate, and entertain.
Find us at the 7th floor of
Pusat Kegiatan Mahasiswa Building B, only in
Universitas Indonesia,
Depok 16425.
Follow us at RTC UI FM
and visit our website
at rtc.ui.ac.id.
See you soon. Love you all. Take care and bye-bye.
bisa nikmatin berbagai informasi dari Liputan 6, liputan6.com, dan aplikasi Liputan 6 secara bersamaan. Semuanya ada di wajah baru aplikasi Liputan 6. Kamu bisa jadi orang yang paling cepat dapat informasi terbaru karena ada fitur latest. Nikmati cara baru baca berita di fitur Visual Stories. Bukan cuma tulisannya yang menarik, tapi banyak gambar kece yang bisa kamu lihat. Tampilan kece, update berita cepat. Download sekarang ya.